Hey mama, one of the most important choices you're going to have to make when it comes to childbirth is deciding where you choose to have your baby. Is it going to be a home birth, a hospital birth, or a birth at the birth center? I'm going to be comparing these options for you to help you make a decision. You might be wondering, what's the difference? Why does it matter where I choose to give birth? It's just childbirth, right? No. Each option comes with its pros and its cons, and depending on the option that you choose, your birth experience could be completely different. I'll start with hospital births. This option is the most common option, at least in North America, and it's great, but it's especially great for pregnancies and births that are high risk. And this is because you have access to a lot of specialized care, a lot of specialized professionals. You're in a place where there's a lot of medical equipment that will be available to you at a moment's notice. And if you're someone who wants a lot of interventions, like maybe you want to use an epidural or any of those type of things, a hospital is the perfect place for you to be. But in a lot of cases, for moms who want to have a natural birth, who don't want a lot of medical interventions, a hospital birth might not be the best option. And that's because you are in the presence of nurses, you're in the presence of OBGYNs, and they specialize at caring for high-risk pregnancies. So they're not really great at staying hands-off. They're not really great at just letting things progress. They want to intervene. They want to step in. So you need to consider this when you're deciding to go to a hospital. Make sure that their values and your expectations for your birth are aligned, so that you don't go there and you're having to fight them and you're having to tell them to back off. Another thing to consider with hospital births is that if you're someone that isn't comfortable in hospitals, the bright lights, the smells, the medications, the people around, a hospital birth might not be the best option for you, because labor and childbirth is something that could be very private, and you want to be comfortable, you want to be relaxed, you want to be in a place where you trust the people around you. And if this is not the feelings that come up in you when you're in the hospital, you should really think very well about this before choosing a hospital. On the other end of the spectrum, we have home births. Home births are usually attended by midwives in the comfort of your home. So all the equipment that's needed for you to have baby is brought into your home, and you stay there, you labor at home the entire time, and baby is born in the comfort of your home. Home births are reserved for people whose pregnancy and birth are considered low risk or normal. So if you have a high risk pregnancy, you would not be someone who would qualify to give birth at home. You get to be in a familiar environment, you get to control who is in and who is not allowed into your space, and that concept of familiarity is a big one. You want to be in a place where you feel safe, and for most people, a home brings this for them. It's also somewhere where you can be flexible. In the hospitals, there's usually policies that are in place that might prevent you from doing certain things, but for the most part at home, you can give birth in water, you can stand, you can do different things, and your midwife will usually support you in this. Another great thing is that because home births are supported by midwife, you get to take advantage of their model of care. Midwives, they prefer usually to be hands-off. You decide what you want to do, you decide what's best for you, and they only step in when they absolutely have to. So this is great for moms who are okay with having a natural birth, who don't want a lot of medical interventions at their birth, and who just want things to progress as they normally would. This brings me to the third option, birthing centers. They can be considered a happy medium between a hospital birth and a home birth, because they are made to model a home. So it's cozy, they prioritize that coziness and that functionality. So you'd usually see a birth tub or a pool in the birth center. There's a very nice big cozy bed as well, and midwives will be there to attend to you. Midwives are great. The way their care is structured, it's very mother focused, very holistic. They want to make sure that you're doing well physically, baby is doing well. Maybe you don't want to do it at your house, maybe your home is not big enough, or you don't feel as comfortable in your home. You can have your baby in the birth center. One great thing is that a lot of hospitals are connected to birth centers, so they're very, very close to the hospital. If you're someone that's very worried about what if there's an emergency, this usually is a great choice for you, because your midwife is usually able to collaborate with your doctor, refer you there if anything is needed. So it's just a great in-between for most people. The only thing I would say is that I know that with hospital births, it's usually covered in most cases by insurance, but in some states, in some countries, or some insurance policies don't cover births at home or births at the birth center. If you're in Manitoba though, it's great because home births are covered by Manitoba Health Insurance. So these are some of the things that you just need to consider when you're comparing the different options. I really can't think of a downside for a birth center birth. The only thing thing, I guess, is that it's still something that if there is a real emergency, like a serious emergency, you'd still need to go to the hospital. So now that you know your options, I want you to remember that the right decision is the decision that's tailor-made specifically for you. So only you can make the right decision for you and your family. You just need to ask yourself, are you high risk? Do you want no interventions? Do you want a natural birth? It depends on your particular situation. But I hope this video was helpful to you. Let me know if you've had a baby. Where did you decide to have your baby and why? I'd love to have you on my channel, so please remember to subscribe before you leave. Bye!